Hello everyone and welcome to the course on Google Spreadsheet. My name is Shahbaz Haider and I am business consultant. I consult companies on how to use and how to use effectively Google Spreadsheet and other tools by Google in their companies. So I've been doing this for around 4 years, have worked with more than 150 companies across the globe. And while working with those companies, I realized that more people should get to know the power of Google Spreadsheet because since it's not very old as Excel, more people are comfortable with Microsoft Excel and less people know that there are a lot of things that can be done with Google Spreadsheet as well. And since I also enjoy spending time on Google Sheets, so I decided it's a good idea to create a course that focus more on how these things are incorporated in companies, how officials use these features and work on some real life data sets. So once you are done with the course, you can actually help anyone get some positive insight from data. Having said that, we will follow the style which would be first we'll do the basics, which is basics terminologies and get aware about the spreadsheet, get aware about the environment. Once we are done with that, we will start with the actual thing, that is functions. So we will learn about a lot of functions, and you don't need to learn these functions. You just need to know that there are things like this. So when required, you can Google about them and use them. So don't be afraid that okay, we need to learn so many functions, so it's going to be very tough. No, we are doing so many functions so that you can see the power, you can see in what situations what functions we can use. But you don't need to learn or you don't need to memorize those functions. You just need to know that something like this exists and I can simply go to Google and get the actual function and actual syntax of the function. I have some data sets ready in this sheet on which we'll be performing the actions, and I'll also share this sheet with all of you so you have the access and where you can also practice. One request is while going through the videos, just not watch the videos and keep moving ahead, but what the process you follow is you see the video of one concept, then pause the video, go back to your Google spreadsheet, implement those things, and then come back and start again. In this way, you will have a better grasp on the functions and you will have a better understanding how to use them in the right place. Some of you, if you want to know that what exactly sheet, if you are starting from very basic level, no worries at all. I'm going to start from exactly point zero. We just have some questions which you might want to know, that what is sheet. So sheet is anything that has rows and columns where you can store data. So for example, this is a sheet. It has many rows, it has many columns, and I can write anything wherever I want. This thing is called sheet. What is Google Spreadsheet? Google Spreadsheet is the online version of Sheet created by Google. Before Google Spreadsheet, there was Microsoft Excel, very widely used, but it was offline. So Google Spreadsheet came and it made the things online. Why you should learn Google Spreadsheet? Because more than 90% of the companies in the world use it directly or indirectly. So from job perspective, it's a very good skill to have. If you know Google Spreadsheet very well, if you can manipulate the data, if you can use the data to create some reports, then that skill is very much respected in the industry. And in general, everyone in today's world should know how to get some sense out of data. So if you get a data like this, so let's say you have 1,000 rows of data about what was sold on Amazon and at what price. Now looking at this data, you should have that skill. Okay, what are the insights I can get out of this? What does this data tells me? Like, is there any decision I can make based out of this data? So for that you need, like, it's very good that you know at least one tool where you can paste the data and play with it. can see, okay, what is the highest number, what is the lowest number, what are averages, uh, what are the averages of a particular kind of commodity sold, so on and so forth. So Google Spreadsheet will give you one skill where you can take data, study them, and get some conclusion. Who should learn Google Sheet? Students, as I said, that it is a very good skill for your resume, and if you can prove that you know in and out of Google Spreadsheet, that would be a very good point, and you will have edge on other candidates. Corporates, officials, whether you are in marketing or in operations, Google Spreadsheet can help you a lot in maintaining your data very easily, in taking decisions based on those data sets, and recording day-to-day processes. So that's the reason I said 90% of the companies today uses Google Sheet in one way or other. Another set of people who should learn Google Spreadsheet are those who are aspiring to be data scientists. Definitely Google Spreadsheet cannot make you a data scientist for sure, because that is the data scientists play with a very large volume of data, and Google Spreadsheet is not meant to play in that large volume, but it is a very good starting point. It's a very good starting point to take some data, see what are the sums, what is the average, and what are the meaning of these data, how I can increase something, how I can decrease some value. So basically, to get familiar yourself what exactly is data and how to read them, Google Spreadsheet can be a very good tool for you if you want to be a data scientist in future. So with these some information, in fact some preliminaries, in the next video we'll start directly from basics and directly jump to Google Spreadsheet and start using it. And as we proceed further, we'll cover more and more things, and we'll try to know more and more new stuff, and I'll try to cover only those things that are helpful. For example, in this spreadsheet there can be a lot of things which you don't need to know. For example, in even in case of functions, there are hundreds of functions, but I have been using Google Spreadsheet for past 4-5 years. I have done more than 500 projects, but there are hardly 30-40 of them which are used a lot. So although there are hundreds of them, there are selected few which are used a lot, and we would be focusing on them. So yeah, all the best for your course, and let's start in the next video.